Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today I want to talk about getting and keeping good credit. A lot of times on YouTube videos you'll hear people talking about how to get an 800 credit score and how to blah blah blah. Well, for the average person in the average situation, they've got average to below average credit. Less than 0.5% have an 800 or better credit score. The majority of the people have a credit score around 600. It's fact. So today I'm just going to give you some pointers on how to raise your credit score and how to keep your credit score up once you get it there. Now the first thing you need to do is you need to get a copy of your credit report so you know what boogeymen you're fighting. And you can get one free every year from all three credit bureaus. I think the address online is still the same, myfreecreditreport.com. Get a written copy, have it mailed to you, and that way you can take your time, look at it, digest it, find out where your issues are. Also, the same time you do that, go online and sign up for Credit Karma. And I'll go into that in a little bit. While you're waiting for your credit bureau report to get to you, do a little research online about credit scores, what makes them up, how to fix them. I mean, paying your bills on time is not the only thing. There's utilization, there's length of credit, there's credit mix. I mean, there's other things. Do your research so that you know how to fight to get your credit score up. And here's the big one. Stop using credit until you get your mess fixed. It does no good to fill in a hole on one end and go to the other end and dig the hole deeper. Stop using your credit. Stop using your debit card. Pay with cash, because that way that will teach you better habits than what got you into where you are now. Now, once you figure it all out, the best and quickest way to start building your credit is to eliminate your credit card debt and any credit that you might have. If you've got a bunch of credit cards and they've all got $50 on them, pay them off. A paid off credit card looks much better than a credit card with a $50 or $5,000 balance on it. Pay off as many as you can. And that does not limit to credit cards. If you've got a personal loan that's got a balance on it, pay it off. If you've got a car payment that's got less than $1,000 on it, pay it off. Now, is it going to be that easy? No. Especially if you don't make a lot. But this is what it's going to take to get you a good credit report. So pay off your smallest balances first, not your big ones. Don't tackle your big ones first. Pay the minimums on all your credit cards and all of your credit, and then tackle the smallest one first and keep going forward, because each credit card has a minimum payment allowed. So if you pay off 2 or 3 credit cards and each one of them's got a $50 minimum, now you can take $150 and go towards a bigger balanced credit card, you see? So start with your smallest, work towards your largest. Now, once you do that, your credit score will start to go up, okay? And here's something I don't want you to be confused about. A lot of the guys on YouTube will lead you to believe that you can do all of this in 30 or 60 days. It doesn't work that way. The credit scores are designed to function over time. Now there are certain tricks that you can use that'll boost it up a little quicker. but just settle in for the long term. Look at this as a minimum of a one-year project to get your credit up. Now, once you get your credit score starting to go up, here are some rules that you should follow to keep your credit score up. Now, don't stop doing the ones you just did. You can do those every month for the rest of your life. But here's some tips that'll help you to keep your credit score good once you get there. And one of them is never close a credit card. Don't ever close a credit card. You stick it in a drawer, but don't ever close it, because part of your credit rating is the length of your credit. So the longer you have a credit card, the better. Not the longer you carry a balance on it, but the longer you have the credit card in your possession and usable. And then every year use the credit card once, for a cup of coffee or something, but keep it functional, keep it usable, and keep it. The second one is to pay off your credit card every single month on time. Now, a lot of people have issues with time, okay? So if that's your issue, as soon as you get done with this video, you contact your credit card companies and you set up automatic payments from your checking account. Now, you don't have to pay it in full, but set it up so that in case you miss it, the minimum payment will be paid so your credit card doesn't suffer. You understand? The point of setting it up automatically is not to pay it in full. You do that each month when you write the check. If you want to set it up that way, that's fine. But the purpose that I see for the automatic is to, in case the mail runs slow or something happens to you or your payment will be made on time automatically by the credit card company. That's important. Now, another thing that people have a hard time with is applying for credit cards. How often can you apply for credit cards, and what's credit cards? If you want to apply for credit cards and you want to get into the credit card game, you need to do it strategically. I did not. I was unaware of any rules. I was unaware of any limits. When I knew I wanted cash back credit cards, I just applied for everyone that came down the road. Came back to bite me because I had too many credit cards in too short a period of time, and the length of my credit wasn't good, so I had to wait. And it's been probably a year since I've gotten a credit card, and I've already got 2 lined up that I want, but you do it strategically. What type of credit card do you want? Cash or travel? If it's cash back, do you want to do it for certain categories? Do you need one for groceries? Do you need one for restaurants? But have a strategy, some strategy that works in your mind for how and when and how often you apply for credit cards. Now, in the process of getting credit cards, you will undoubtedly come across one that will keep your credit score up to date for you. And I told you earlier I was going to talk to you about Credit Karma. Here's what I want to tell you about. Credit Karma is not accurate for your credit bureau that the banks see. But here's why I want you to sign up for that. Because Credit Karma and Credit Sesame and Experian online, they all use what's called FICO 3 to determine your credit bureau. The banks and credit bureaus that report to the banks and the credit card companies use what's called FICO 8. Now, I used to know the technical difference between those. I do not. But here's what I do know. There is a relationship between your FICO 3 and your FICO 8, and that is about 50 points. So if you go to Credit Karma, and it tells you that your credit rating is an 800. the banks are probably seeing around a 750. Okay? But you have to have some measure to keep track of your credit so that you know if you're on track. If you sign up for Credit Karma today and your score is 700, okay? And then in a month it's 710, and in 2 months it's 730. You'll know you're going up. The number doesn't really matter. What matters is the showing that you have progress each and every month towards raising your credit. And the last and final piece to keeping your credit rating good is to stay on top of it on a regular basis. Be aware of when you apply for bank loans and personal loans and credit cards and mortgages and car loans. Be aware of the timing of those. Try to space them out. Try to eliminate all when you're going for a big purchase so that there's nothing 6 months before that. I recently got a mortgage for a little piece of rental property. They asked me if I had applied for any other credit cards in the last 60 days, 90 days. Last 90 days. And of course I hadn't. Not because of that, I was on a credit fast because I just needed time to catch up to my credit. So stay on top of it. I'm going to read these back again in case you were writing them down and you missed one. The first part of it is getting from where you are to having a decent credit rating. And get your free credit report from myfreecreditreport.com. Sign up for Credit Karma. While you're waiting, do your research on the credit scores. Find out what makes up your credit score and how to improve it. And the hard one is, stop using credit, period, until you get your mess fixed permanently. Use cash. Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it means discipline, but stop using credit until you get your mess fixed. And then as you start to pay off your balances, pay off your smallest first and pay the minimum on all your other ones. Now, once your credit rating starts to go up, you continue to do all of those things, but here's some things that will help you to keep your credit rating good once you get there. Never close a credit card. You don't have to use it all the time, but don't close it out. Pay off your credit cards every single month and set each credit card up with an automatic payment from your checking account for the minimum amount. That way, if something happens, your credit rating isn't going to suffer because of that. Any new credit that you plan on getting, do it with a strategy in mind. Whether it's credit cards, mortgage loans, car loans, do it strategically, not just run off and do it because you feel like doing it. Review your credit monthly. See what's up, see what's down, see what you can do, think about ways of improving it. And lastly, I want you to stay on top of your credit report. You need to do this periodically for the rest of your life because banks and credit bureaus will look at this information all the time. So stay on top of it and don't let it get out of hand. Well, that's about all I wanted to say on getting and keeping a good credit rating. You guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.